Yo, welcome back to the Immigrant Section. It's your boy Abbas Wahab. As you can see, if you're watching video, I am in my room. Okay, for the first time ever, you're getting the exclusive. If you're listening to audio, you're missing out. I'm in my bedroom for the first time. I got a whole new setup, nice webcam and whatever. You know, I thought, why do the Zoom from downstairs where it's dark and all that shit? Time to do it from in here. Anyways, wherever you're watching, listening, make sure to hit that subscribe, follow button so you can get every new episode as it comes out. And for today's guest, I got my good friend zooming in. Please put it together for my man, Guled Abdi. What are you saying, dog?
Hey, what's going on? It's Guled Abdi. I'm here also in my room. If you're watching the video, check out the colors, baby. Green wall. You know I didn't choose it. You know I didn't choose it. It came like this.
Bro, that's that, the root, dude, that's that, what's it called? That olive green, right? Ooh, that's
right?
nice.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about like colors because like I'm so like, I have such a basic vocabulary. I'm like, this is dark red and this is a lighter red. And it's a middle red, and then it's like no, there's different types of red, and like there's the words you put in front of the colors, you know, olive green, this, that, you know. I'm like, damn,
dude, that will never come back and haunt you though. There'll never be a situation with somebody with like a gun to your head, like, what is this, nigga? This is crimson, nigga. Just like,
damn, I knew.
Is it red? It's maroon, nigga. Just like so aggressive.
Damn, what's the difference?
That's never gonna come back. But bro, right before we went live, I'm like, man, you're on season 2 of TallBoyz, CBC produced, millions of dollar budget. Man, I thought you'd be living in a palace by now, bro. Like straight up.
I mean, I honestly like I could have moved into like a 1-bedroom, but like I thought about it and I was like, I'm moving to 1-bedroom just so I can say I have a 1-bedroom, but like my situation is chill here. I got 2 other roommates that like we all do our own thing. And we share a common area, and the rent's like dirt cheap. So I was like, listen, I can live well in the 1-bedroom in the city with the price of the 1-bedroom, or I can live like a king in the room that I share in a 3-bedroom.
Bro, that's the smartest thing though. That's the hardest move to make is when money comes in is to not adjust your standard of living. If you can stay where you're at, you're doing yourself the biggest favor, right? Because it's upgrading proportionally to how you go up. That's the trap to begin with.
Yeah, and like I'm like one day I'd love to own my own place, but like until then I'm like, listen, I'm chilling, man. I'll just stack up the coin and just get this 1-bedroom as long as my roommate keeps the lease and the landlord's not an asshole. We're good.
I love how you say stack up the coin, like life is literally a game for you. Just you got the coin just right up here. Ding, 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 ding. Just stack up this coin.
I don't know if I've ever said the phrase stack up this coin till today. Actually, to be honest with you,
when you got the call, season 2 is they're going for a season 2. You just looked up like,
I would like, I still like when I watch rap music videos, like I love the way rappers just how much money they have. And I want to get one day, like just to see, maybe rent it like a money counter and put like hundreds of dollars, like the bills are hundreds, it's $100 bills minimum. And just put that in there and then just let that count, you know,
the one that goes,
yeah. Oh,
ooh, that's
so
nice.
Good.
I think of cocaine money, right? When I hear that, you know what I mean?
And that's already been sampled. I'm sure there's rap songs that have used that sound as part of a sample.
Oh, the intro, just like,
yeah.
And then it'll be like, if young Metro don't love you, I'm gonna shoot you. Banana. Yeah. Dude, you see little Uzi got the diamond in the head?
I did. Then I saw a TikTok today where someone pretended like there's that one character in the Marvel universe who had also the gem that Thanos wanted.
Thanos,
and so someone
did
that TikTok where they taking it up Uzi. I said the internet's so fast.
So first off, right off the top, season 2 of TallBoyz CBC exclusive is dropping when the day that this episode drops. So if you're hearing this, watching this, it's out. Check that shit out.
Yeah.
TallBoyz season 2 with my homie Guled in that.
That's
I even got a screener, bro. I feel like, bro, I feel like, you know how you're in it, getting paid, living well. I'm at the point where I was excited that I'm at the point in industry where they gave me a screener link to watch it in advance. For this.
Man,
I'm like, oh shit! Like I was at Conrad's place. I was like, yo, nigga, I got the screener link.
I love that. Yeah, like it's all these little things that like that remind me of how cool sometimes being in entertainment is. Like getting invited to. I wish we had gotten a chance to go to an award show last year for the Canadian Screen Awards, but that's when COVID hit.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, like there was like just being invited to like an event and then seeing other people who also working in the industry and then getting like I don't know, I'm still very much at the beginning phases of this where I'm like, yo, the fact that I get snacks that I don't have to pay for and they give me drinks that I don't have to pay for. And then they also want to give me like, I don't know what it is about when you when you get into entertainment, the more you make it, the more people want to give you free things.
Yeah, isn't
like,
it? Isn't
I'm like,
that
I don't
weirdly
get it,
backwards?
you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's like
they're hoping that you wear it or you affiliate yourself with it, and they get a sponsorship just via affiliation and association.
Man, I didn't think about it that way. You're right. I was just thinking like, why do they want to give us money and free stuff? You know,
Like what's this thing called? Ilbert, like this hat. When I ran a show in London, Ontario, stand up, and I went around looking for sponsors, and they're like, well, we're not willing to necessarily sponsor you, but we will give you a free thing. Grab that hat over there. So I grabbed that hat, and now Ilbury and Goose, London native retail, like not even retail, but apparel store. So they're getting plugged on here just for free. That's what they're hoping for. Now I don't have the pull that you got. We gotta
cut that out in post. Just cut that out. Cut that out. Be like, and that's one. And then it's just blank. And then they're getting advertised for free. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just censor.
Send them a link of this and being like, I'll unedit it for $14.
Yeah, exactly. If you want it, I mean, it's COVID. You tell me.
We were talking right before this that you got hit with a bout of vitiligo. Or how does it pronounce?
Vitiligo. Yeah, man. I don't know if it's. I like vitiligo too, man. I mean, just however you want to say it, vitiligo. Yeah, I got hit with it like last summer. It started a small little dot, and now it's like taking up a little part of my face, the left side of my face right now.
How rare is that? Because I see it on people like pre-COVID times when I'm walking on the street. I'll see it probably once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'll see somebody. So I'm assuming it's actually a pretty rare thing, right?
I think so. To be honest with you, I've done such little research on it.
I love that, by the way. I love that you just got hit with it and you're just that's the mentality to just take it as it comes. Because if it was my girlfriend, man, my girlfriend's getting these things called cluster headaches. And she is reading everything on the internet, and it is like fucking up her psyche completely. Oh
man, okay, so maybe I am doing the right, because I just think like I don't care about this enough. Is the reason I'm not searching. Like the only thing I read was the dermatologist I first saw gave me a double-sided piece of paper that explained what vitiligo is and the different treatment options, and I felt like it gave a pretty good like summation of the condition and what to expect. And after reading that, like the feeling I left with was, hey man, we don't know much about this. It could spread, it might not spread. You be easy, dog. Like that's the feeling I left with. So I was like, all right, well, I can do more research to read about it, but it feels like, hey, let's hope it stays there. But if it doesn't, I mean, it's not cancer, so like, be chill,
Yeah, I love that they gave you a pamphlet, Simpsons style. Did it say, so you have vitiligo? Is that what it like?
I wish. It's like, what to know about vitiligo, but I wish it had done that. Hey, so you or a loved one have gotten vitiligo,
I love that dermatologist says just have a wall of just like whatever they diagnose what it is. They just like, here we go, vitiligo. So just have a wall of pamphlets for every condition.
He literally did have a wall of pamphlets. I don't remember if the vitiligo was on it, but he printed this out from the internet for me, where he's like, he asked me, he's like, did you do any research? I was like, no. I said I didn't want to do any research until I was certain what it was. And he's like, yeah. He's like, and then he said, don't do research. He's like, don't believe everything you're reading on the internet about it. He's like, let me print you out this thing. And that double-sided sheet, I was like, all right, cool. Right. I was like, all right.
Don't trust what you read on the internet. Trust this pamphlet.
Yeah, exactly. What you got off the internet?
But that's sick, man. Yo, I'll be real with you. Lucky for you, you're a tall motherfucker, bro. You're like, bro, there's something about height that negates any of these things and fall by the wayside. Like, niggas tall and shit. It's like, yo, he's got a little vitiligo, but he can dunk. So what the fuck?
Man, I can't listen. I gotta let your viewers know I cannot dunk. I could dunk physically. I know it's possible, but I've made a choice to stay on the ground.
You're that
everyone else.
You're that type of height where what are you like 6'8"? There you go. You're that type of height for a black guy where I imagine my roommate's like 6'9". Actually, my roommate's like 6'10" or something. He's tall as fuck. South Sudani. And I'm like, bro, how often do people ask you about basketball? He goes, every day, man.
Yeah. It used to be like that when I was younger. When I had a younger face, people would ask me because I think they knew if there's a chance he's going to make it, it's now. As I've gotten older, it's gone down dramatically.
They don't even want to bring it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I did have the one cool experience was like the first season we got like one of our producers, their partner got us tickets to go to like a Raptors social. And when we were there, like we're chilling, like, you know, again, free food is what I love the most. It was free food, like we're just free food, free drinks, whatever.
I love it.
And then there's also just people who are fans of the Raptors, just who also paid money to come check this out. And the Raptors players walking around, you know, to go into different places and taking photos of the fans.
And you're taller than some of them, I bet.
I was. And so like what at one point as I was walking to like, I think I wanted to go grab like there was some free sample. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. And then somebody grabbed me and said, hey, and then I was so confused. And they're like, let me get a picture. And I was like, oh, okay. And I took a picture with them. And then later I turned and then another person grabbed me. They're like, hey, because they saw the first person take a photo of me. Let me take a photo. And then it caught. Like, oh, they think I'm a basketball player.
That's so funny.
It took a moment. I was like, why do these random people want to take photos? Do they know about TallBoyz? I'm like, I don't think so. It's not even at that point. It wasn't even out. I was like,
Even if it was out, you're like, I didn't know it was getting this level of critical acclaim.
Yeah. But then afterwards, I thought about, I was like, this must be so fun. I wish I could be there just to see them explain to someone who I was. Like, I got a photo of this guy, and they're like, who is that? They're like, he's no, it's not that guy. He's shit.
It's like, and then a basketball knowledgeable guy's like, dude, that's not a guy. You know what I mean? I think that was just a tall black dude. No. He was there. It couldn't have. No, yeah. The white dude could never admit. No. Trust me. He was there. He was in the thing. He's probably a rookie or
maybe he's like a 10-day guy. He's a 10-day guy, probably.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Trust me, bro. I'm not fucking bro. What the fuck? I'm not just gonna take a picture of a random tall black guy, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
I loved it though. I was like, oh my goodness, that's what an experience.
So TallBoyz season 2. So TallBoyz. Okay, so TallBoyz was originally a sketch troupe. That was you and Franco,
Vance,
Tim. So all guys from the Toronto comedy scene. How long did you guys have that troupe before you got CBC? And how did you even how did it go from you guys doing shit to CBC being like, oh, let's put money behind this?
Dude, that journey was fast. That turnaround was fast. Like we formed the troupe in, if I remember correctly, it's probably 2017, October, if I'm not mistaken.
Good month. Good month for a troupe. Good month.
Good month. Yeah. Halloween, spooky season, you know?
Yeah, it's good month. Good troupe month. Yeah. My birthday's
scary,
October.
You know, it's a little scary, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it was 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2017, October. We how it happened was Franco and Tim were at that point at Second City, part of, if I'm not mistaken, Houseco, which was like a troupe that they had, or a group that they had on as part of the Second City brand, and they were close. Franco and I knew each other from stand-up. I also knew Tim from stand-up. Vance was the one I knew the least. We'd seen each other around the scene, but at that time, I didn't know him all that well.
Gotcha.
But Franco and Tim were talking, and Tim was like, hey, Vance and I are thinking of forming an improv troupe. You guys want to he's like, do you want to join? And Franco was like, oh, Guled actually wants to do improv a lot more. Maybe we should all combine forces. And then we ended up forming a sketch troupe instead. And Tim sent out a message like, hey, listen, Toronto Sketch Fest coming around next year. Let's submit something. So only connection we knew was stand-up shows. So we asked different stand-up people if we could do 5 minutes on their shows and just try out our sketches. And we filmed it because we had to put together like 10 minutes or something like that of filmed live sketch. And so we filmed these videos that we did at like different
like comedy
variety-
bar, and like you
like
hop in
variety
like a
shows
set.
essentially. You know, we
Gotcha,
did variety shows,
5 for 5 and shit like that.
shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
And
that
then
takes me back.
we put that together. We got into Toronto Sketch Fest. Our first year in there. This is now 2018. We get the eye of the producers. They're like, of the festival. They're like, yo, you guys are funny. Come do the Best of Fest. This is our first outing. We've only been a troupe for maybe at this point like 6 months.
Yeah, you're still deciding on the name. At this point, it was just It was called Boys of Various Heights.
Yeah, exactly. We went back and forth.
Yeah, we'll workshop the name, boys. Let's just figure out these sketches.
The name like was a friend of the troupe said like, oh, you guys are tall. You guys should go so TallBoyz. And then on accident, our first photo shoot, my sister did the photo shoot, and we just took a bunch of T-shirts that we had, cut deep V's in the deepest V's you can think of.
Yeah.
Took photos, and it's fall. And then one of the albums looked kind of sexy, so I named it TallBoyz to Men. And Franco was like, "Yeah, we should go by TallBoyz to Men." And that's how it happened. Like we became TallBoyz to Men based off the bunch of photos that were sexy.
You realize that's the one good story. That's the one story that ended happily that involved a deep V-neck I've ever heard. You know?
Really?
If it wasn't for the deep V-necks, we would have never found our identity. You know?
Yeah, honestly, it was like I don't even know why. We did photos where we were just wearing the T-shirts, and then we were like, we had a plan. We're like, let's also cut deep V's in them and take photos, and then we did that as well. It was, but yeah. So we got into the Best of Fest. This is our first year, for 6 months or so. We're together, and at the Best of Fest, I didn't know what was happening behind the scenes, but Vance at this point, one of the troupe members, had worked on a show that was in production where Bruce was the person creating the show, and
Bruce was the director. He's
the director. He's an EP director and showrunner.
Gotcha. And he did Kids in the Hall, correct?
Yeah, he's one of the members of Kids in the Hall. He's been on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, Bruce, what's his last name?
McCullough.
Yeah, Bruce. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, his resume is quite long.
It's deeper than that V-neck.
Deeper than that. Our V-necks could never. Yeah. We would need a big T back from the early 2000s to the knee, and even then, it still wouldn't be enough.
Oh, dude, the long tees. Remember when they used to have SpongeBob thugged out Nickelodeon? Remember that? Man. Snap, crackle, and crack.
I love those things so much. I just felt like I didn't. I was too tall. A lot of times the big tees became like just slightly oversized tees for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But then every regular tee is a short tee for you.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. So the big tees didn't feel big enough. I wasn't swimming in them like other people. But then also I felt like I just didn't have, I wasn't a hard ass nigga. I just couldn't pull these off. So like if I had even academics gear, you know, like self-made millionaire when I was working minimum wage jobs, you know, those type of t-shirts.
Yeah, like, you had some Dickies that you were a little ashamed. You didn't know if you could technically pull it off, right?
I wore them, but I was like, my energy was very much like, I'm sorry. That's the energy I gave off. You know, I'm sorry, this is not me. You know.
Like you could be called out any second for these types.
Truly, like someone said, "Nigga," I was like, "What? Who? What?"
What? I am a bitch ass nigga.
I'm sorry. What did I do? You know?
Yeah.
I'm the type of person to start apologizing before. That's the type of nigga I am. I'll apologize before I know what I even did wrong. But yeah, so like that was.
But you're saying Vance. Sorry,
Vance and Bruce.
Yeah, Vance.
Vance.
So they had a working relationship in the past, somewhat.
They did, yeah. So I didn't know that Vance was actually in a room with Bruce prior to us doing the Sketch Fest, and had told Bruce that like, oh, I'm part of a troupe, and we're going to be doing sketches together. And Bruce had told these producers like, oh, you guys should go check these people out. I've heard they're good. And so our first outing, first ever Sketch Fest, we do the Best of Fest. And after the show, one of the producers that we end up working with comes up to me. She's like, oh, hey, you know, you guys are really funny. I was like, thank you so much, you know. And she was like, yeah, like talking to me. And she's like, you ever thought of doing a TV show? And I was like, yes, absolutely.
You're like, yes.
Yeah.
And then you just play it off.
I'd never thought of it before. I was like, well, if it's like this, then yeah, of course I'll do it.
Yes.
And then I never, like the producers of the festival had introduced me to this producer for the TV show. And he was like, she's really cool. She likes you guys, you know. And after I talked to her, I just said bye to her, never took her contact information or anything. I don't even remember her name at that point. I was like, this person asked us if we want to do a show, and I just let her go without being like, how do I get in touch with you? You know?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, goodbye. Well, the universe will bring us back together, I assume.
Yeah. she just gives you a pamphlet. So you'd like to make a show?
Yeah.
You know what
I'm
I
like,
mean?
oh, this is pretty informative.
Yeah.
Back to front, just single page. That's great.
Yeah.
Double sided single page. That's great. Oh, it walked you through how like to get your rights and how to sign the options and all.
So what happened? So you let her walk off. What happened?
I let her walk off. Nothing much happened. Like it was kind of silent, but Vance was still like working with Bruce on this thing on the show that like that was in production at that point. And he met those same producers and they were like, oh, hey, I don't know if you remember me. I came to see your show. You guys want to, like, I told you guys and asked you guys if you want to do a show. Like, let's meet up and have a coffee and talk about it. And so we did. We met up like a couple months later and we had coffee with them. We sat down. And honestly, that same year that we sat down with them and started writing the show, like, so in the February of that year, or March of that year, we done our first Sketch Fest. And in October or November of that year, we had our first season got greenlit.
Really? So you had scripts for just every episode, or you had like the pilot script and like a show Bible, or?
We had a show Bible and 2 episodes written out, which was essentially all the sketches that we had at that point because we had only been a troupe for 6 months.
You're like, you don't even know each other's names yet. Like,
yeah, like we're getting comfortable. Like it was wild. Like we used every piece of material that we had. We threw anything that could be in the show. We threw, and then I think we wrote also some other stuff as well. But the 2 episodes were pretty much just straight from our stage.
That's so fast, man. This is so fast. Do you get the sense that all the diversity stuff helped you right now with the current climate?
For sure. I feel like we got on in the right time, you know, like we saw the right people saw us at the right time.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was like, I don't know, like it's so wild because I'm like, if we had formed that troupe even a few months later, we wouldn't have gotten into Sketchfest and we wouldn't have seen these people. Like it's just, what are the chances of all these things just kind of happen? Like we were doing the same, we were having fun, we were making people laugh, like we were getting recognition very quickly after performing. And then these producers see us like, you know, within a year of us being a sketch troupe, or a year later, we have a TV show and that we're in full steam, getting a room together and starting to write the remaining 6 episodes.
God. Okay, so was it you guys just that wrote the episode, or did they have like other writers in with you?
We had 2 other writers who were there, staff writers, Adam and Luke, who were really cool dudes. Who we were going to work together on, because at that time we didn't know we were going to do TallBoyz Sketch Show. The producers were like, hey, you know, we want to do a show with you, and so we were while we were waiting to meet up with them, we were forming a show. We're like, what show do we want to make?
So they said, so it seems like they were sold on you as a group, as a collective.
Yeah.
Even before the idea, before anything even was like fully formulated, they're like, hey, them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes,
they're like, hey, we think you guys are funny. We want to do something with you. And I don't know if they, in their mind, they wanted to do a sketch show off the rip, but we try to put together a narrative show that. And we were meeting, I remember like at one point we were meeting every week, but every week when we met up again, it felt like we were having the same conversation. Like, well, so what is this show?
Okay, yeah.
Every time we were meeting up, we were
did
like,
anybody have their legs crossed?
Yeah, we did, arms crossed, and we're just like, we're all like, it always felt like we were on page 1 every single time we came back. Like we'd write some stuff, we'd talk about it, we'd have such great discussions, but every week we come back and we're like, okay, so what exactly is this show? What are we? What's the show? What are we making? What is it? What is it about? You know, we're having this kind of similar conversation
every time you guys meet together. It's like, okay, so let's go around, say your name and a little bit about yourselves. You know, it's like, what the fuck?
Icebreakers for a couple of months.
Yeah. So then, how did that whole first season kind of like click into place then?
Yeah, so we got greenlit, and at that point we had already written 2 episodes worth of content, and we had formed like a writer's room of sorts with bringing Adam and Luke in, and we also had like seasoned writers who've done TV in Canada for like decades at this point, who were helping us learn to write for TV because none of us had written for TV before. Like I didn't even know how to format a script properly. that little like basic knowledge was not there. So we had people coming to gently guide us and get us to like hand in scripts that were understandable. People could understand what we were saying. Like, okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, so this is how you format it to move this thing across. So we'd done that for a couple of months. When we got greenlit, we formed the room pretty quickly, and then it went from like we meet up once a week or a couple times a week for like a couple weeks in a row to then now we're in this full time, and we started churning out, because in the turnaround from when we got greenlit to when we started filming was like 4 or 5 months or something like that. So it was like very quickly we're like, we need the other 6 episodes, and we need them like.
And the idea is they want to film the whole season, start recording, end recording. We got the whole season. It's a wrap.
Yeah, we weren't writing while we were filming. When we were filming, like all the scripts were locked off, and the only writing was maybe like punching up of certain things or cutting out of certain things, but we weren't actually writing full ideas when we were filming.
Gotcha. Okay. Would you guys improv a lot on set, or did you usually kind of stick to the script for the most part? Was it the scripted dialogue made it into the final cut, or did improv shit make it into the final cut too?
It was a mixture. It's more so we followed the script, but Bruce was always very open to amendments. If we had new ideas, he was always like, I'm always open to a new idea. If you have like a way to make something better, he's like, I'm never going to say no. Because once we have the version on the script down, then okay, we got the takes we need for that. Like, and sometimes he would even be like, he's like, I don't know about this joke. Do you have another idea for this? This feels kind of slow. And they're like,
gotcha.
Okay, what about if I say this? And they'll be like, he's like, yeah, no, that's a lot better. He's like, okay, cool. I'll try that line then.
Okay, so for the most part, it was like we're gonna shoot what's written, and then we'll have some fun after that, and we'll see what stays, kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. And if you were like, in some cases, if we had nailed the takes that we needed the first couple of times, then he'd be like, all right, now just have fun with it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, guys, 9/11 happened again. It's like, what? It's like, I'm kidding, but use it. It's like, what? The weirdest techniques the director would use.
No, honestly, I'm glad he's pretty straightforward, and was always like very like would always take time to be like, hey, how are you feeling? What's going on? Checking in with us, you know, because he knew that none of us have had this experience, and being someone who has such an understanding of this industry and what it's like to work on production shows of our size and shows that are 10 times our size. He's like, you know, was like, hey, I know how stressful this can be. I used to be there as well. I know it's been decades now, but it's like, I can understand that like this is probably overwhelming. So like he was always open to like, hey, how are you guys feeling? Talk to me. What do you want to do?
So as far as writing for TV, what's something that what's a consideration that you take in writing for TV that you had never any idea about? And now, like, while writing for it, you're like, oh, I didn't realize this was even a thing we'd have to think about.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing for me was for TV, the script has to be like for stage, you're present, you're on stage, and so you create the visuals while you're on stage. As you're moving around, you're creating this world. But on TV, like, it has to be so clear what this thing looks like, because when it leaves your hand and someone else reads it and they don't see the same picture you're seeing, then it becomes like this game of like, or this puzzle of like, you're trying to get your idea as clear on the paper as you can so that they see your vision and they can help guide it to like, oh, this is how to clean it up to make it more like the direction's clear and the action lines make sense, so that like visually you're like, this is, and sometimes even using references of other shows or other like genres, like, oh, this is going to be like a film noir or something, so people know off the top, they're like, oh, this is what you're going for, and they can help like mold the idea so that it's as you imagine in your mind, as close as to your vision as possible on paper.
Gotcha. So there's like, besides the dialogue, you guys have scene directions and you guys have details galore besides dialogue.
It's interesting, like sketch, like there is details, but the details have to be like you used to use a lot of shorthand. Sometimes it's necessary to give like 2 or 3 lines, but a lot of times like 2 lines like was something that was like drilled into. It's like, make the script move as fast as possible, that any extraneous detail that you might put, I'm assuming, in like a longer like 30-minute like sitcom or like a movie where you can really draw out the description, because sometimes the scene is just, we're looking at an ocean, something hits the wave, blah blah, you can like really paint the scene. And the sketch would be like, no, this needs to be like 2 sentences.
Gotcha.
You're like,
okay.
exterior ocean, so and so throws this in the water, and then move.
Okay, that's interesting. That's really cool. I watched season 2. I watched that screener. I love that that nigga bit with you and Tim. That killed me. That shit was so funny.
I think that's like my that's the most niggas I've said in any given year.
Yeah. Oh, that's the most I've ever heard. That's the most I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was like, so there was moments where I was like, because I love this sketch, but I still, my comfort level with saying nigga, for as a black person, I feel sometimes like I don't know why I feel like this hesitance when I say nigga, that I'm trying to explore, like, what is it about the word, or what is it about me, or where I've grown up, that like I'm just, maybe it's I've grown up with not enough black people in the spaces I was in, so that I wasn't saying it very often, so it doesn't feel as natural when I say it.
Yeah, it's the same situation with those academic jeans and Dickies. It's the same shit again. Right? Yeah. It's like, am I black enough to be able to get away with this shit, right? Like,
exactly.
Like, and not even like being called out for it in the outside world, but literally like how you feel like, oh, that might be too many. But man, You know what I thought was interesting for the show is that sometimes I feel like for a sketch, it's very like PG. So I'm like, oh, they're kind of PG. And then you have that nigga sketch right after. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like that's like, sometimes I'm watching and I have the sense of like, oh, this is CBC. They can't really. And then it's like another sketch in that same episode is like HBO-esque. So I'm like, well, how does it work with censorship and CBC? Does like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, when you guys are really wilding out on set, does a motherfucker in a suit and a CBC like button just coming like like, like do people come on and like infringe right on you, like, oh, we're pushing it too far, or oh, pull it back, or is the script already have those lines kind of drawn out clearly?
It already has those lines drawn out clearly before we go to camera. In the first season, we did have sometimes execs come to, most of the time just to say what's up, and check out the place. But it's very interesting because like when we're writing, a lot of times, like we're just writing what makes us laugh and what's funny. And so at times, like, it's interesting, like I guess when I think of when I was doing stand-up more often, that with stand-up, there was probably, I felt like a bit more freedom to just like throw ideas out there and just try it out. But with the sketch, it feels like at times like because stand-up, you get to do this material so many days and so many nights in a row that you can start figuring out exactly what the idea is and how you can hone this over time. But with the sketch, like, it kind of has to already, most of the pieces have to be there in the first draft or first couple drafts. And if I don't have a strong idea and I want to push something that like might get CBC,
like it's flimsy.
Yeah, it's flimsy.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I don't like, it doesn't even like leave my computer. I'm just like, I got to sit on this idea and really think about it. Because then trying to explain it to CBC and explain it to the room, to everyone else in the room, to understand the idea can be a challenge. But I find in general, CBC has been like pretty open to
really?
A lot of the ideas that we put out there. Sometimes they're like, oh, this is a little weird, we don't get it. But they've been like, for the most part, they're like, actually, one of the things they were like always tell us is like, hey, just keep pushing. In fact, is the note that we've gotten from them is like, just keep pushing it, keep pushing it, go even further, so it's
really
yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that. Interesting. Like in the actual sketch, what you're writing is like, go further, you can go further. They're saying that.
Well, they're saying like in general, like even for like our sketches, I remember they're like you guys can like, feel free to go further, like you can push the ideas further, like that, like if we go to a place that is like they're like, okay, we absolutely can't do this, they're like, we'll let you know, but like just keep, we'll have that discussion then, but like just push the ideas further. So that's why like even like that sketch where we say nigga a lot, like
They're like, say it a couple more times.
So like, yeah, cool, whatever,
Yeah.
man, that's fine. You know, they I don't think we even got many notes about it. Like there was no like, okay, so you can say nigga 20 times, but like the 23rd time, like maybe
Yeah.
they're like, no, they're just like, yeah, go ahead, man, have fun, man.
I'm surprised. Man, I'm actually surprised to hear that, because I would have thought that they would have been a lot more like, in my mind, working with CBC would be like a lot of red tape. That's in my mind. So I'm actually really surprised that in fact, they're like, push the envelope more, go for it, you know? But keep in mind, the vessel, you guys are, that's why I'm saying, like, they were sold on you guys before they were sold on the idea itself, whether it's sketch, narrative. They didn't know, because they know you guys as a collective, as a vessel, can kind of, just from a social point of view, you can say what you want, right? That's the game right now, right?
Yeah. Of just hearing like people's perspectives that you haven't heard before. And so, yeah, just letting, like, yeah, I feel like we, at times, yeah, like, I know because of our makeup that we could probably get away with more risky material, quote unquote, than another troupe, you know, because we're like, yeah, our makeup is quite unique, and we can really like push certain ideas, and like, but also we always want it to be funny, and so like that's the challenge of, at times, if we want to talk about something that is a bit more risky or is touches on race or whatever, we want the idea to be strong, but we want the comedy to be there too.
Gotcha.
And sometimes the idea is there, but the comedy just isn't quite there, because sometimes like I'm still like angry about something, so what's coming through is anger, but there's no there's no
funny there. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Like, it's the same thing happens on stage too, when something fresh happens and you have so much emotion about it, but you haven't flushed out really what the core bit is or the joke. So you just go up there with the anger or just bewilderment or whatever it is, and it doesn't go where you expect your emotion to drive through, but it doesn't, because the joke never really happened. It never was there.
Yeah, you know? No, it's just. But I feel like that's even a good place at times to start that journey. It's like something made me feel such a strong emotion, and then trying to find where the joke is in that strong emotion. God damn.
That's some high level shit right there, bro. You know what I mean? Someone handed you a pamphlet. So you want to do a crazy emotional joke? Read this shit.
I feel like, I don't know if you've done this, but I've listened to so many coming up, so many like podcasts of other comedians talk about comedy. And so like, I feel like I've learned just by absorbing this different knowledge from people, like so many ideas and ways of doing comedy. And some have resonated with me more than others, but like there is that thing of like, I remember one comedian or several comedians I've heard talk about like that if something makes them feel an emotion, whatever it is, a strong emotion, if it's anger, if it's happiness, if it's sadness, whatever it is, bewilderment, that they're like, that's a driving force to try to find then the comedy in that, of being like, there is something there that you want to talk about, but maybe it's a matter of time and finessing this so you figure out, oh, here's the thing I was trying to say.
Exactly. You polish. And I forget, who is it? Ron Funches, I think he said, write, and Bill Burr pretty much said the same thing, is write what you love, write what you hate, and write what scares you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Cause it's like there's something so magical of being on stage where you're like, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how they're going to, but I want to tell this joke, and it's something I can feel passionate about, but I don't know how this is going to go at all.
What's it called? In the show, your name is Caleb, right? So they didn't do any of the Somalian stuff at all, which I thought, I was surprised about. I was like, I would have thought that they would have been like, lean into the Somalian stuff, or was it your choice to stay away from it?
Well, when we're playing, because we have sketches where we're in the world of these characters, and so they have names that till this day I don't remember them, because they're mostly for the network and scripts, and for people who are making the schedules to figure out, or like for the what's it called? The keys of different departments to know what characters are in different sketches.
Gotcha.
But we play our kind of ourselves, the TallBoyz. I'm Guled in those ones. I'm Guled, and Franco is Franco, and Tim is Tim. We go by our own names, but when we're playing different characters, a lot of times I do, yeah, almost like by default, give them white Anglo-Saxon names. Like,
yeah. I was like, what?
Like,
Why don't they just keep it? Well, I'm like, why though?
yeah, I don't. You know, to be honest with you, as
Right?
you asked that, I'm like,
it doesn't add anything.
There's really not. Yeah, like
I think it's making it digestible for that random dude in Saskatchewan. I think maybe is what it is.
Usually that's my audience to begin with.
Yeah, those random Saskatchewan niggas love Guled, boy.
I know, man. They love me. They're like, man, all the names I mentioned, they're like, I know that person.
Yeah. Well, actually, on that note, have you been to Somalia? Were you born here? I don't think I've ever had like a Somalia conversation with you.
Yeah, no, I was born in Somalia. I was born in Mogadishu, and
we got a real one here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, you know what it is, man. I was born there. I lived there till 92, and that's when I came to Toronto. I moved here a little after the Civil War broke out, and then my mom got a job with the UN in Kenya, and so we moved to Kenya in like about 96, I think.
Like you left Canada and went back to Kenya in 96?
Yeah, so we moved from Somalia to Canada as refugees.
Yeah,
and then we got our papers and everything in the moment.
Cop that citizenship.
I caught that citizenship. We're like, we out.
Yeah, we'll be back.
It's been nice with deuces, you know.
Yeah, right. We'll be back for that health care or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the papers, losers. Peace.
Yeah. So you guys went to Kenya and you were like 10 or younger.
Yeah, like I was about 9, 10.
Yeah.
And my mom got a job at that time with the UN as a nutritionist. So we moved out there and we lived there till about 05. I came back here for 1 year, 2002, 2003 for one grade, but I was there pretty much till 05.
Wait. You came for one grade? You came back to Canada to do one grade?
Yeah, because like, so the thing is like I think it was like in 98 or 99 that my mom got cancer. And so she was getting treatment. I remember she got treated in Kenya, but also would come back here to see specialists in Toronto. And so there was that 1 year, I think grade 10, I think it had something to do with like she needed to be in the city I think she had a bunch of appointments to see her specialist. And so she couldn't, like, it didn't make sense to travel back and forth. It's just like really expensive.
Gotcha.
So she was like, we stayed here. And so that year I did grade 10 here. And then my sister might know this. I don't know why, but I went back to Kenya.
Yeah.
Like the whole family didn't go back. And I went, and I think my sister, did she come eventually? I think maybe she did, but I feel like she didn't. I think she was here through the remainder, but I was in Kenya for my last 2 years of high school.
God damn. So Kenya is really where you had your childhood, it seems like. I mean, between kind of like a little. So you remember Canada between 92, 96? Or was it all?
It's blur. It's such a blur.
Gotcha.
I have picture. It's like almost like photographic memory of certain places. And like, I remember certain events, but like, I can't recall more than like a few minutes of like, oh, I remember making bologna sandwich with no bread, just a bologna, squirt some ketchup on it, roll it up, eat it.
It's those weird little fragments of memory. Like for when I was 4 or 5, when we first were in Oman, I remember like sleeping on the trip back from somewhere and my dad carrying me into the house, like random. Yeah. I don't even know where we were, but I just remember the carry because I pretended to be asleep because I was like, I know if I pretend to be asleep, I'll get carried in. And I was like in my head, like, man, you're so smart, bro. That's like an early memory.
The system.
I love exactly, man. Bro, I was literally like, I was just feeling myself too much. But
no, man. When you fall off those little things as a kid, you're like, God damn, I'm so smart.
I figured this whole shit out.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you still have boys in Kenya? Like, is Kenya still like in your mind, like home kind of, or?
No, that's the thing. Like, what I have I know there's some friends who still go back to Kenya occasionally.
Yeah.
But most of the people, I went to an international school out there.
Oh shit!
So I went to so a lot of expats. So most
the UN kids, right?
The UN kids, the embassy kids, and then some kids who just came from money. Parents were rich and paying
locals.
Like
a
lot of
locals.
money.
Yeah.
Like, so all the people I know, most people I know, ended up going back to their home countries once they graduated. So
any Canadians?
Yeah, there's some Canadians. Yeah, I remember actually. It's funny enough. One of the girls who was in my class, I ran into her at University of Toronto when I was in my first year. She also happened to be going to the University of Toronto, and I was like, "That's so wild!" And I didn't expect to see you here as well. I was just coming out of station, looking around, and someone yelled my name. I was like, "What? Who knows? No one should know me." I'm like, I just moved back. I didn't go to high school with any of these niggas, you know?
Yeah. That's so funny. It's such a small world, man. From Kenya, from your class. That's so cool. But I guess U of T is a big school though, so.
It is, yeah. But I mean, she's Canadian. I just didn't expect her to come to U of T. She could have gone really anywhere, you know. And she was also really like a smart student, unlike me, who like I just got enough. I just barely squeaked by it to get into U of T.
Oh,
they respected the IB program a lot, but I got like all 5s across the board, and I think some 4s.
Oh shit, the IB
amazing.
program. I went when I didn't even know about the IB program. I'm a public school kid, but when I went to university, I had a lot of international friends who were just like, "Man, IB, bro, 7s, man, 7s." Yeah, I'm like,
I know. That's the thing. I got all 5s, man. Not even a single 6, dog. Not 1 6.
Oh, I heard it's tough. It's like the Richter scale, bro. It's like 10 times harder to get a 6 than a 5.
Yeah, and I actually did not study either, so it was just like I was so bad.
Damn, man. Can you speak Kenyan?
Swahili, not at all.
Is it Swahili? No. That's
yeah.
That's for me, all right. Do you speak like Kenyan talk?
Well, yeah, I speak mostly Nairobi. That's what I speak.
Do you speak nigga talk, Guled?
I dabble in it a little bit, you know, habari gani, mzuri sana, you know.
This is when you're in Saskatchewan's biggest talk show. Well, Guled, we're so happy you're here. Do you speak nigga talk?
I do. Thank you for asking, Jeff. I do, in fact. You know, I'll do it here for the audience, obviously.
Yeah, you just start yelling shit. Yeah. But yeah, like Swahili.
Swahili, yeah. Words, one, honestly, like I know all the words that are in the Lion King. Probably that's about it. Everything else, like.
Like scar, deception.
Yeah, exactly. Not even the words, most of the themes I think I took from that movie.
Love, family, I think.
Love, there's betrayal in there. There's fear of like coming into your own, but also dealing with, I mean, the nigga was dealing with, if you think about it, trauma. Like his parent died and now he has to take over this position. Like,
oh, dude, I just watched The Lion King. That first,
he's a therapist, I think, is what he needs.
Those first couple scenes when he sees his dad trampled by those fucking antelope or whatever the fuck that shit. I'm like, damn, man, Simba's getting fucked up, bro.
I know, and Noah, like, I mean, and like he wasn't given time to mourn. You know, he's like, you got to be king, dude. Like everyone's like, you got to move into the next phase of your life. They were forcing him to grieve fast. You know,
if you think about it, Timon and Pumbaa came at him with that Hakuna Matata. Just in time, bro. Hakuna Matata was pretty much his therapy, dude.
I think about it. Yeah, they were saving grace. You know, he might have killed himself. We never know.
Yeah, right. It means no worries.
Yeah.
Right? But so no Swahili essentially, but
no
Somali.
Swahili, yeah. Somali, like yes, but barely. Every time I talk to my grandmother, which was a sketch in the first season.
Yeah, I saw that sketch.
And then that sketch, like. I found out how many Somalis were on the internet when that sketch came out, of how much like, and I understood because there were certain parts of the sketch where like, I was coming off as mean, and I was like being kind of mean in the sketch, or I was being.
CBC was like, you're like CBC was like, push it. I wouldn't talk to my grandma like this. Push it.
No, come on, disrespect it, dude.
Yeah,
but there was like there was parts where it was a little mean, but like I did a bad thing where first season I read a lot of people's comments on videos.
Oh God.
And that was, especially when that video came out.
Yeah.
I could read the comments in Somali as well. So I could hurt my feelings in 2 languages.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What are you?
Yeah. So I get my feelings hurt in English and then get it hurt in Somali as well.
Bro, I know this is what I know in Somali. I know nega amus is that I don't know. What are you nega amus? Abeos.
Oh yeah, you know Abbas, yeah, like you know all the swear
bro,
words.
I grew up. All my neighbors were Somali, and I grew up in a neighborhood that was so many Somalians, man. My boys, man, Abdullahi, Saeed, Jamas, like like I know these niggas.
Honestly, I still to this day I think the fact that so many of us growing up when we ask people to teach us another language, it's always swear words.
Of course,
always swear words. It's never like, and it's never like I'm like I've never learned the words I've learned. I've never used them to a native speaker. You know, if I learned a swear word in French, I've never gone to a French person and said this swear word to them.
Yeah, see that I know that one. Seal.
Yeah.
Seal means fuck, right?
And I'm like, I've never said that because I don't like I don't have any other words to follow up with. Like I don't even know how to say just kidding. I don't even know how to say just kidding. Like it's a joke. Like I don't even know. Like hey, I'm just joshing. Hey, I'm just fucking around. Sorry about that.
You don't have any of the disarming vocabulary.
That's it. I don't have. I have this aggressive language where I can tell you fuck your mom, and then after that it's like we're in a fight. I guess that's
dude. Literally, yeah. And Bosnian, I know something. You Pichku, which like literally, I know them all. Where it's like just enough to get fucked up.
Exactly. And sometimes I think like I don't know if I've ever taught people bad words. I probably have. I just don't remember it. But like I think in my heart of hearts, if someone asks me like some words of Somali, I just tell them random words that are like just conversational. I don't want them getting, because you don't know who you're going to run into. You might run into someone who's about it and they have time, and you get your ass beat up.
Yeah. I'm angry and I have an open schedule.
Exactly. It's Pell Panoramic. I don't got to be anywhere. Let's fight.
Dude, I saw the funniest thing 2 days ago, man. I'm just sitting there in my car, and some crazy, like this dude was just walking. It was so funny because I was like, it made me think. I was like, man, mental health. This dude's walking, white dude, dreadlocks, probably 22. He's walking down Bloor, right near Comedy Bar, and he's going eastbound, and he's just like, who wants to get fucked up? And he's just fucking mad, right? He's like, who wants it? And like he starts posting up on a Honda Odyssey, like a van, right? And there's this Asian dude inside who, bro, it was so funny. He runs up on the van, and I guess the dude was outside. I didn't see it. The dude runs in the van and straight up tries to run him down. Okay. And he stops in the middle of Bloor, runs out, and it's like a little like Bruce Lee Asian dude. Like I swear to God, the guy was like 40. He runs out of the car and starts chasing this white kid. And the white kid started running so fast away from him. And like the white kid ran in a way that I know he has no mental health issues, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? He was a drunk, amped up kid. The way he ran, all his senses, I know, are totally A-okay.
He's sobered up.
Yeah, bro. The run, it made me thankful to be alive just to have witnessed that. I swear to God. Yeah. It was the funniest thing. Goodness. I was just dying in my car. It was the best thing I've seen all week, or last week, I guess. But fuck, man, killed me.
Oh my God. I love the city.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I love living and I love Toronto. Thanks, God. Man. I appreciate it. Okay. So on the podcast, I asked 3 questions. Okay. I do this. A lot of times I'll forget, but this time I remembered because I had it prepared on this little piece of paper. No, that's not true. But yeah, 3 questions. Sometimes I'll hit them people in the front or at the top just to let them mull over it. But I think it's pretty open and shut. First, okay. The questions are: did you get beat as a kid? And looking back, was it effective or not? Yeah, you will do one at a time. What? Right, were you a kid that got beat? Did you get beat down?
Absolutely. Yeah. I got beat. Like definitely. My mom was one with the wooden spoons. One with the belt. Like one with the hand. Like she was quick with it. I don't like. It's only something that has occurred to me very recently because I started therapy like maybe a couple of years ago. That those, like, I always assumed trauma happened to purely white people. That's what I thought.
You thought only trauma happened to white people?
To white people. That's what I thought. Like that's how ignorant I was about it. I was like, how these white people getting traumatized? I'm like,
they're like, yeah, exactly. I mean, my mom put me in a dryer for 3 days, but
I was like, yeah,
didn't everybody's mom do that?
I didn't think about it. Like, and also because like, and something I've mentioned in therapy before is like, when I would talk to other family members, like siblings, cousins, a lot of times when they tell me their experiences of getting, beat up by their parents or getting disciplined, their experiences sounded way worse than what was happening to me. So I just assumed like, oh man, I got off easy, like I'm not getting beat by someone who's like 250 pounds, I'm getting beat by my mom who's like maybe $1 something,
Yeah, lean. It's a lean hit.
I'm like lean, it's a lean hit. Like even with all her strength, it's as I've gotten older, it's not having the same effect. But yeah, I don't think it was effective because it's taught me to fear making mistakes and worry that someone is going to get mad at me, and that when I do make a mistake that I feel is so terrible, my instinct is I want that person that I wronged to discipline me. So that's like, it's left me with that dynamic where like, I'm like, oh fuck, like, do you want to like beat me with a spoon or something like that?
Yeah.
Will that make it? I don't know. It's not even for them. It's like for me. I'm like, it will make me feel better if you beat me with a spoon.
Just hit me, man. Don't be a little bitch.
Just hit me with a wooden spoon.
Just do it. Do it.
It's all right, man. Dude, you just broke my vase. I know, but like hit me with a spoon or something, you know?
Has therapy been like, is it super beneficial, you find?
I have, yeah. Like it's helped me definitely realize like slowly trying to unpack like just the ways I think about myself and what parts of it are actually how I feel about myself and what parts are how I've either been taught to feel about myself or how other people have said I should feel about myself. So like it's been helpful trying to like break apart these two, like, oh, do I think I am an inherently lazy person? Like, I don't think that's true because like I've done 2 seasons of a show, and if I was lazy, I wouldn't have handed stuff in and gotten edits in on time, like so like I think I've disproven that, but still I feel in my heart like, oh, like growing up and being told like, damn, you gotta work harder, why are you so lazy?
Damn. Okay, yeah, I had Sama Hindi on, and she really pushed the idea of therapy to a point where I'm like, damn, I thought therapy was this and that, but now I'm like, yo, when I get my fucking show, I'm gonna do therapy too. Until then, I'm just gonna be wallowing in these fucking problems.
If you can afford it, I mean, because some places have like truly like sliding scales, and that's how I first started before I got the show. It was like paying like a cheap price, like $45 for a session every other week. And that was very helpful. Now, I mean, obviously I had to tell them I was doing a TV show, so then it went up to the regular price.
That's so funny. Do you have to tell them? Do they ask for your tax returns? How
no,
do you know?
I talked about
it's an honor system.
It's an honor system. Yeah,
that's what they're writing. By the way, they're just writing what your projected income is based on
like,
your memories.
So,
what did you do
last year? Did you get a tax refund recently? And how much was it?
How did it make you feel when you saw the number? What was the number for reference?
Yeah. No, I told him, I was like, because it's like I'm telling him what's happened in my life, so he knew when I got a TV show. And the day when the conversation happened, at the end of it, she's like, "Hey, so I mean,
that's hilarious."
And I was like, "Hey, I was like,
we're breaking a lot of great ground, Guled. Just related to the scale, I love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation.
He was nice about it too, because like he knew I was doing the show for like several months before he brought it up. Yeah. And when he did, I was like, listen, I said, totally understandable. I was like, and a part of me was like, man, I wish in hindsight I kept quiet about doing any show and just let him see a billboard and be like, hey, so are you
just driving
a TV show?
That motherfucker. Yeah. I knew it. I knew his clothes were
sliding scale.
Yeah. I knew those were new Jordan 1s. This is not adding up at all.
Jacket from? That's a Montclair jacket. I know Montclair's expensive.
That fucking
just
kills
let
me.
It be like, is that a rollie on the wrist? I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, it's a family heirloom. My grandma gave it to me. I don't want to talk
about it. There's actually a lot of stuff I want to unpack with this Rolex as well.
Yeah, she held on this for a while, and I think I could have been shining earlier. Kind of mad about it.
The second question I ask is, in your household, and this might be, you could take this as a Somali thing in Kenya or in your house, but who is the butt of jokes? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I usually mean it more cultural. So it's like Sudanese will talk shit about Egyptians, will talk shit about, some other North Africans and Sudanese. Sudanese will talk shit about Egyptians and other Sudanese. Who were the Somalis, or who in your house was like the butt of jokes? Like the Eritreans, like who? You know what I mean?
You know what? I don't know like who truly was a butt of jokes. I do know that I don't know if it's a Somali specific thing, but a lot of times I grew up thinking that Somalis weren't black. I don't know if you've ever ran into that thought of like this idea that somehow like Somalis are a different breed altogether.
Yeah. I mean,
we're Somalis and then other people are black.
Exactly.
That includes people who are right next to us on the border, Yeah,
Somali, Eritrean, Ethiopian, Sudani, like all these African ones were not really like that type of identity crisis shit, right?
Yeah. So that's more than what I grew up with that feeling. I don't know who was the butt of jokes, but I do know that like we were, I for the longest time. It took me a while to realize I was black. I came into that much later in
It
life.
actually
Like,
happened.
hold on a second.
It happened a day before you did that nigga sketch.
I know, yeah. I was like, whoa, hold on a second. I'm saying, am I black? I gotta be black to say that, you know.
Yeah, you run in, Tim. I'm black. I'm ready. I'm ready. You know. Okay, so essentially, you guys weren't talking shit. I'm not necessarily saying I believe you. Okay.
No. The thing is, I don't know who
you hate Sudanese. Just say it.
It's truly, I don't like. That's the thing. I don't like. I just don't think I was paying attention. The only thing I picked up on was like we're better than other black people, but I don't know who we talk shit about.
Okay, so it like a superiority complex type deal. Okay, that's something.
That's the thing I left with, but I don't know who specifically, what group people we made fun of the most. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, when we moved here, my mom would be like, don't hang out with black people. But she would also say, don't hang out with white people. And also say, don't hang out with my mom said, don't hang out with everybody except Asians.
Well, so those are your friends then.
Yeah, right. Like literally,
it's like one of the biggest continents in the world. So sorry.
Yeah, Mom. It was perfect, right? I'm like, well, thanks, Mom. China's got 2 billion almost, so exactly. Appreciate it. Okay, and the final question I ask, which you can give this a little thought as well, is what is something you've only seen either in your country, and I don't know if you've been to Somalia since, but something you've only seen people do at your culture, you've only seen Somalis do, or you've only seen in Somalia? The example that I always give, which is that Sudanese will have a living room with no couches at all, and just twin beds, like all beds. There's no couches, so everyone's just trying to chill in.
I guess you guys also have the Fadi Ara bed, which is like those really low to the ground couches. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, the Moroccan seating style.
Yeah, the Moroccan seat where you can take it apart and put it back together, like a Tetris couch.
Yeah, where that's the standard hookah cafe setup.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what's something specifically Somali that I haven't seen anywhere else.
Or maybe in Kenya, something you've only seen, like something you haven't seen in a long time type deal.
Maybe other cultures have something similar to this. I'm trying to think. What's something specifically Somali?
Don't say pirating, okay? All right.
No. I was trying to think like. I've seen like you know how Eritreans, Ethiopians, who has a dance where their shoulders go like wild, or they're just like doing the shoulder shrug?
I'm gonna assume Ethiopians, because I think there's more than them than Eritreans. So let's just assume Ethiopians. Actually, I don't even know if I'm right.
Yeah, there's like the one thing that keeps coming, but I don't even think it's Somali, because I think Indonesians and some Arabs do this, but like it's a thing called a ma'us, which is just like a cloth, it's like one circular piece of cloth that's long that you cover your bottom with, and you fold it over and then roll up. Sometimes you put a belt over it. Sometimes you're wearing boxers underneath, other times not.
Really? So you guys have like a makeshift underwear type deal?
It's called a ma'us. It's like a skirt. It's like a long skirt that men will wear, and it's like this huge piece of fabric that's closed off. You pretty much you put it over your head, or you put it on your body, and it's like you have so much excess fabric that you fold it over and fold it a couple times, and then like roll it under to keep it on you. And if you're really good with the folding, that you can you don't need a belt. As for me, I would wear a belt because so many times it would just drop. And
where did you wear this? Where'd you wear this?
You'd wear it at home generally. You wear it at home when you're relaxing and stuff. You put on your ma'us, but it's like also it's cool to wear, but like also very revealing, because like it's so huge, and so like, you know, like I can't be having my normal like, you know, stances and the way I sit, because otherwise I'm just like flashing everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Ma'us. I don't know.
Other cultures. Yeah.
Would I have seen somebody in this? Would they leave their house with this on?
Sometimes, but you might see people outside the house with it, but it's a more at home thing. Yeah.
Interesting. You know, like I'm shocked. I'm thinking I must have seen it. I have so many Somalians around me, and over at their place or whatever. How have I not seen it?
Maybe you've seen the combo with that and like a wife beater. Generally, like maybe the dad might be wearing wife beater, and then he's wearing this like long skirt looking thing.
Yeah, that does sound hella familiar.
Generally, it's like the men will be wearing it around the house at times. So that is like when I think about it, I was like, that's very Somali. And then also when I was in Somalia, I went in 2000. There was some people had like automatic weapons, like assault rifles.
Yeah.
People just have assault rifles with them. Like it was just like, and they're not police. They're just random people. Like just like
so America. So sorry. I was saying Somalia is just like the South.
I mean, essentially, it felt like that because the country has governments in certain parts, but it's essentially kind of still kind of lawless.
Exactly. Non-government state type deal.
Yeah. So people, still protect themselves. So but it was not even like a Glock or something like a gun. It's like I saw people having tea sitting at a cafe and their AK is like leaning on the table.
That's fucking awesome. Like it'll be like an AK-47.
AK, like literally people had like big guns, like I saw people with big guns, like not even tiny ones, I was like, Jesus Christ, why do you have these big assault rifles on you,
Did you shoot any off when you were there?
No, none whatsoever.
Oh,
no.
That's a shame, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know it's the one place where you don't need probably a gun license to shoot. You don't need to go through all this bureaucracy, this paperwork. You just picked up a Glock and shot.
I bet you there's less places in the world you do have to do paperwork. If you think about it, it's like most places you just grab the gun and go. But man, I would shoot an AK the first chance. Like, God, an AK? God damn, bro.
It looks pretty wild, man. That and but this is like not a Somali thing, but I remember when I was in Kenya, I don't know if the police have changed. It's been 15 years since I was last there, but when I was last in Kenya, the police there, like here we have they have standard issue Glocks. The cops have that, right? In Kenya, they would have like semi-automatic and automatic weapons, sometimes Glocks. But you see police officers standing at like a directing traffic, and they're holding like an Uzi.
Yeah, like a weird, like a bank robbery style weapon.
Yeah, and also it was a very common thing, where the news was so terrible at warning you about to see something graphic, and they just say today the police got in a shootout. And they were notorious then for like just shooting suspects, and like cops everywhere, just bad. And so they'd be like, you see cops just standing at a road holding their Uzi, and you see bodies slumped in a field. You're like, oh shit!
Like they're freshly dead.
Freshly dead. They didn't put like a tarp over them or nothing. And I'm just like, they didn't give you no warning. They just like the news anchor says, and today police shoot, and then they just show. I'm like, whoa! You got to tell me about to see a dead body,
That's so fucking funny, man. It's like there's still smoke coming out of the barrel.
It felt like it, I was like, Jesus Christ, there's no warning, just bodies slumped out of cars. What's the deal?
Dude, I gotta go to all these places, man. I need to do I hope one day I could do an Africa comedy tour. That'd be so cool.
Honestly, Kenya, I haven't been there in a while, but it's so beautiful. The coastal area, like Mombasa.
Kenya's really green, right? It's green as fuck.
Oh man, it's like so beautiful. It's got like the Serengeti is there, the Pride Rock that's in Kenya, the where Lion King where he was held above. That's an actual place.
That's an actual place.
That rock, that weird looking rock, that's an actual place. It's
what the fuck? I had no idea.
Yeah, but that they put that rock in the Serengeti, which is a totally different place. But that rock is there.
Kenyans when that movie first dropped, the guy in the theaters is just like fake, like that.
And you're like, come on, you wouldn't find a giraffe that near Pride Rock? Come on, let's be honest.
Giraffe and zebras don't mingle like that. What the fuck?
Yeah, wildebeest, come on. Water buffalo, what is it doing there? That's not even native.
Yo, man, we're reaching our time, bro. This has been fucking awesome. As always, I've mentioned this before, but on this day that it drops, the 16th, it will come out. It is the 16th at least. TallBoyz season 2 is out. Make sure to check that shit if you're Canadian, really. I mean, is it available anywhere?
We hope that we'll once this season comes out, that we'll be able to figure out ways to get it streaming internationally.
Oh, is it? It was not in Europe. Season 1's in Europe.
Not that I know of. Right now, it's only on CBC Gem, which is like geo-locked to Canada. But I think the goal is to
all you people out there with international. VPN?
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying use it, but I'm also not saying don't use it.
Yeah, exactly. But Guled, tell the people where to find you personally.
Yes. I am on Instagram. If you're there, it's Guled. It's GUL3D. Instead of an E, it's a 3. And then you can find me on Twitter. It's G8Us. That's U till you get to 8. And then LEAD. But by that point, if you type in already 5 U's, I should come up. Or 4 U's, I think I should come up. You'll see.
I think I'm the guy at 4 U's, right? You know what I mean? Do you tweet a lot? Which of these are you most active on? Because I put stuff in the description, so I'll put what's most prominent.
Honestly, I say I'm on both equally. I'm on Twitter quite a lot. I don't tweet a lot, but I am on there. So like, listen,
gotcha.
Tag me. It's gonna get retweeted.
Then you find that man's Twitter in the description below.
Yes.
Hell yeah,
Thanks
man.
for having me, dude.
Dude, this has been a fucking pleasure, man. I'm so happy this whole setup worked great. Internet did not cut. Everything went perfect.
I know. Oh my goodness. I was tense. Especially as we're getting to the end. I was like, don't do it now. Don't do it now.
No, it's perfect. It could cut right now and people get the gist. So it's perfect.
I know.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
it's okay.
So dude, can't wait to see you once everything goes back to normal in the comedy scene. It's gonna be sick. Congrats on your success in season 2.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
I hope if a season 3 isn't picked up, at least now you got your IMDb nicely stacked. So I know you got good things coming after that.
Yeah, knock on wood, baby. Come on. Let's do it.
Knock on wood. From my end, wherever you're listening, if you want to support the podcast directly, check out patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Get weekly bonus episodes, behind the scenes content, all that shit. But if you haven't subscribed or clicked follow, do that now because you're at the end. You might as well.
Do it.
Thank you so much for coming on, brother.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Until next time, y'all are the best. Peace.
Bye.
Yo, and that's the episode. Remember, if you liked it, smash that subscribe button so I can give you updates. And until next time, it's your boy Abbas Wahab. Easy.